and welcome to Coffee Time, Best Friend Time.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. So today, to round off our relationship series, we're gonna still be talking about anime and kind of the relationship tropes that we love and some that we think are problematic. But first, we would like to recap on how we are doing with our personal journeys and kind of do a little bit about that. So, how have you been with your soft, hard 75?
Yeah, it's been hard. But actually, I've been consistent with exercising every day, the twice a day. Even today, even though I knew I wanted to go to sleep, I still got outside and did my outside workout. But I, what was it that I messed up on? I messed up on something on day like 17, so I would have to start all over. And so then I was like, you know what? Let me I ate something bad with Layla.
Oh.
So I
Was it pigs in a blanket?
Not this time. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I need to, I guess, build a better system of how I want to do everything before jumping back into it. So hopefully this next time I'll get through it. But I am seeing results, even though I'm not on the 75 anymore, like because I've been working out so much. A little friend of mine told me my little waist was getting smaller. I was like, thank you, like for real. So yeah, I can see the difference because I've been consistent, like with the working out, mostly on the water, even though that was pretty hard for me. So I would say overall, I'm really happy, really trying to do my best and getting it done.
Cool. How are you feeling? Do you feel any different than before you started?
I definitely have a little bit more confidence, I think, and not just like appearance wise. I think it's more just of like I'm actually showing up for myself and coming through with like making little plans and doing them. So I think that's the biggest change for me that I've seen. So yeah.
Good.
What about you?
Me, I have been doing good. So I've been on my, exercise and stuff. I know one day after I ran, I did have like my one of my muscles was really tight in my legs, and I did want to do a leg workout, but I didn't. Instead, I just stretched because it's very important to listen to your body and make sure you're not going to injure yourself, because then that would just put you out even longer. So I just did some stretching that day and just rested. But honestly, I have been feeling really good. Like when I wake up and I just feel very light and my muscles feel good. Like I just feel really good. So I'm really proud of myself, and yeah, I'm doing my exercises. I'm still jogging, and then I'm still doing like some sort of weight strength training, I guess, either arms, legs, abs, and then on the weekends I'll try to do like yoga or something. So.
And your waist is looking really good too.
Thank you. It's only because I wear these graphic tees and they're tight. With Inuyasha. But yeah, so I feel really good. And strangely, I've been really craving peanut butter. So I've been putting peanut butter on things. Like I got some like rice cakes, and then I'll put peanut butter and some honey on it for my snacky. And then Desi got some protein powder. So I've been drinking that after my workouts too. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But I do have to watch out because I did get a medical issue where I have to take some medicine, and I can't take any supplements. Like it's not good to take like vitamins with it. You have to wait like a few hours. So I set my alarm for like 3 a.m. every day to take the pill. Because someone I know also said that they do that so they can take the vitamin in the morning when they like officially wake up. And I was like, that's a good idea. So I do that. And then that way, after I work out, I can drink my protein shake because it has, you know, some minerals and stuff in it. So I didn't want to like get that messed up or anything.
Yeah. Oh, so overall, doing good.
Yep, we're doing good. And I know, so some of the feedback that we've been getting from you guys, and thank you so much for watching and supporting us. That means so much to us. I know sometimes when we do the online meetings, that's not as great as how we are now. So someone said that we should probably just be like this because it's better, because my camera is better, I guess. It's more professional looking. So we'll try to do these from now on. We were using Zoom, which also had some issues recently with how they're going to be collecting data. So I was always wary of Zoom, but it was the only one that was working for us. Anyway, so we will try to be doing more super special together episodes from now on. All right, so I guess now to go into our relationship tropes in anime, and you could probably find these tropes in like other relationship media and Western culture as well, like TV shows and stuff, books, but these are just the ones that we've seen in that are pretty predominantly in anime, and these are known for them. So, without further ado.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some relationship tropes that are our favorites and some that are we feel problematic, and even some of my favorites are kind of problematic, can be problematic. So one of my favorites is the monster boyfriend or monster girlfriend. So like Inuyasha is considered like, you know, a monster boyfriend, which is like the Beauty and the Beast trope, right? So girl meets boy who just so happens to be a monster and the relationship kind of develops from there. The reason I like it, I mean, I've always liked, you know, Beauty and the Beast growing up and everything, but usually it will be like this monster who is misunderstood, right? So the monster, either boyfriend or girlfriend, is misunderstood by the world. They're actually very, you know, they're usually very sweet, very caring, and of course, but can be monsters because of how the world is treating them immediately, right? And then usually the main character, the human, befriends them, and then they, you know, start to develop feelings. And you like this one as well. It's also in Kakai Ryu Bed and Breakfast for Spirits.
Yes.
So there's like the ogre king and then the human girl, and also with the kitsune, and so it's very fun. Oh, and Kami-sama Kiss.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
So those ones are all ones that I do like. Why do you like do you feel?
Yeah, I think the same as you, that the monster character is misunderstood. So seeing the character development with the two characters growing together, kind of overcoming whatever issues the misunderstood character had, does make it interesting. And it's not something like that you would see like every day, like in real world or more or in Western media as much. Like we do know, you know, Beauty and the Beast, but like
not too much, yeah.
Yeah, most of your shows like on Netflix are not going to be that. You'll have like
I guess
more.
Twilight.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of, yeah.
Yeah, would be kind of one that you'd see, but yeah, that within that sci-fi genre that is kind of separate from the main media. So I think it's a little bit, whenever it's like, not a movie,
Mm-hmm.
just animes or
Yeah.
shows, you have more time to develop the characters. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I really enjoy. And I think
Yeah.
anime does a really good job with that.
Yeah.
All of the different ones.
Yeah. Cause, oh, go ahead.
Um, I think even Fruits Basket kind of falls into that because
Yeah.
the characters transform. And so
Mm-hmm.
Fruits Basket is just an all around good shoujo
Mm-hmm.
anime. I really enjoy it. It's nice that it has a lot of little different elements to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel the same way about like, the development, because you just get to see both characters grow. Because sometimes even the like main character will also be like a little like afraid or, taken aback by, this monster, right? And then they learn that, all of the things that are below the surface. And then the monster character also, develops like, oh, you can see more of them like, coming to terms with, who they are, who they really are inside. And that's always great. And especially like she said, because in like, in things like Twilight, I mean, they immediately get together and you don't get to see like the cuteness, like, of the developing relationship, like them being, and plus I guess in Twilight, he wasn't really a monster because like to the world, right? He was a monster like to himself, he was like, I'm a vampire and it's terrible. But in these other ones, it's like the world sees them as monsters, and there's this one person that just grows to understand who they are inside. So yeah.
Yeah. A lot of isolation from the anime characters versus like Twilight, where he's out in the world and going to
in high school.
Kyo, even though he was a Soma, just like the rest of the family members who had the curse, he was isolated because of the animal that he is, the cat, which was excluded from the true zodiac.
Yeah, and he was also actually a monster, even like so he was actually a monster, even though they all transform into
two forms.
He had two forms. So they all transform into animals. However, Kyo had an extra layer of like a beast. So I think he falls into that monster boyfriend category.
Yes. Oh, spoilers. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
let's see. Yeah, so that's
one.
that. Yes, probably my favorite, my personal favorite, like of my favorites, is that one. Okay, and then now we have the popular character with the shy character. So popular boy with shy girl, or popular girl with shy boy. So one of those would be like my dress up darling, which we really like. The girl was like super popular, even though she was kind of nerdy into like anime and stuff. And then like the boy was just like, because of his affinity for like making dolls, because it's his family, he was like, he just felt like he shouldn't be part of the world. So he was very shy, didn't have many friends or any friends, and was shut in. And then they meet, and so yeah, the reason why I like this kind of trope is because the shy, the popular person who you would think or might be mean to like the shy character, is actually a very nice person, and they bring the shy character out of their shell. But you also learn that the popular person has their own struggles, and the shy person helps them too. So it's like a very good, balanced relationship. It's not like just this one person who's just like, yeah, I'm, great, and you're coming with me. They both have their issues, and they both help each other work through them. So yes, dress up darling, Horimiya, that's the one. That one's really cute, and it's got multiple characters, and this is another one where they actually get together early in the episode, or early in the show, and then you see their whole relationship too, and how they help each other, and say I love you. So you also liked this one?
Say I Love You. Yes, I did enjoy that anime, and then that I think I've said it once before last time that I love when people are brought out of their shell. So it is really satisfying to watch
Yeah.
the ones where you have the more popular character that doesn't, just, belittle or hate on the shy person, because it hurts being shy sometimes.
It's so sad to see them being so mean.
Yeah, it ain't easy all the time.
Yeah, so either way, I like it either way. So if it's popular guy or popular girl with shy girl, shy guy, like both of those I just love because it just shows the differences and how people grow. So that's why it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And talking about the difference between the genders, how the role can make a difference in the way that the story is told, I'm gonna murder this, but it is
Tsundere?
Sundre, I guess. Here, that is what it is.
No,
in this style.
To type it in.
For when the female character is more of the brass and like aggressive character in this dynamic, I particularly don't like it. Toradora is one of those examples, and I just really did not like how mean she was to the boy character, and I suck with names, so insert his name too in there. But yeah, like she would hit him, like, and not just like a bang or something. She would like try to knock him out, and he just would take it. And yes, there was developing within the two characters like that, where they kind of got over him with the shyness and her with her kind of mistreatment from her family. But still, I don't like to see the mistreatment of people like that. And I guess because it's a female, it makes it to where the editor, or I guess the writers and everyone just feels comfortable with having the female character beat on the males. But I don't like it. On the flip side, when it is the more cynical, maybe it's snarky.
Yeah.
Snarky, witty, male character, that's how they kind of have that aggression versus, physical violence.
Yeah.
And so I can deal with them being a little bit of, an ass. And it's usually because they're trying to guard themselves from like a trauma that happened in their past.
Inuyasha, Kyo.
Yes.
All of those just being a more aloof, so it's more of a barrier to keep people out from getting close to them.
Yeah, definitely with those two, aggression toward others at times, but not their female interests as much. Yeah. I think Kyo was a couple of times hit around her or something, or like she was in somewhat the crossfire between Yuki and Kyo's fights or whatever, but never like, oh, you were causing me strife, so I'm gonna hit you, versus like the female version. So
yeah,
one that I really liked that I've watched 3 times is the Wolf Girl and the Black Prince. That one, I really enjoyed that dynamic between them. Again, the male character was a little witty, he was definitely the pretty boy, like they was being scouted to model and stuff like that. And the girl in the anime, she kind of lied her way into kind of putting herself in his world. Wolf Girl, Black Prince was one of my favorite ones because you did get to see the character development, but as far as the love trope, he could be seen as a little bit of an ass, but it was because he had his own issues that he was going through, like his parents got divorced and he had his feelings about that, what if he had maybe caused it, and then also whenever he had his little heart broken or something, like just he always would see this memory of like his snowman getting like just stomped, and like it turns out that he was misinterpreting what happened a little bit, but just to know that he wasn't just this cold guy, that he really felt a lot of the different things that were happening between him and Erica was her name. It really, you know, like, because, you know, sometimes, especially when someone's a little cold like that, it's like, oh, they don't care. They're, you know, they don't think anything about you. You're just like, in that situation, she was his dog, which is problematic. I will say it was problematic, but when you kind of watch it, you kind of understand why, the significance, like how the dog was like really one of the only things he cared about. Aww. So that kind of was good. But yeah, I mean, still a little crazy or whatever, but I just really enjoyed seeing them develop, and not to give too much away, but I really enjoyed that one.
Yay. All right, so my next one that I do really like, that trope, is the reverse harem. So those are usually pretty cute. This is also in my problematic list. We'll get to there. But I like the kiss him, not me, romantic killer. Because usually, and even Fruits Basket is sort of like a reverse harem, right? So even though not all of them are going after Toru, there are very good-looking guys around her age that are in her life and care for her. So all of these, I just like them because it's, you know, usually all of these characters do have their own issues. Just like the kiss him, not me, a lot of the guys will have their own issues, and they kind of work through them all together, right? So the main character will have like an episode with each, you know, of the characters that is interested in them, and, you know, they work through some of their, you know, reasons, right? Even though it's already established that, yeah, I like, you know, this person. Even though they're all like going after this one person, sometimes they'll all be friends, like all of the guy characters, they'll still be friends, and they'll hang out, and they all just work through like issues that they've had, all of these character arcs, you know. So I guess a lot of these for me are character arcs, probably like for Ashley. So they just work through any traumas that they have, things, so they just build up and bringing each other like out of their shell too. Because sometimes in these ones it will be like a shy girl or a more reserved girl who just, you know, goes into these, you know, gets into these situations that brings her out, that brings more of who she is, as well as the guy characters. They are, and even like I think the Kiss Him Not Me also had one girl that was going after the main character too, so that was fun. Because she looked like, you know, when they first met her, she was actually in like a male cosplay. So they were like, oh, who's this guy, you know? So I just think those are great, just to, like, they get into some silly things. And I mean, Oron Host Club is also in this. And while I do like some of the characters growing and getting, you know, to be better, there are a lot of problematic things in that as well, in that one. So like I said, even though it's one of my favorites, I do realize that some of them can be problematic. So how do you feel about the reverse harem?
Yeah, I really enjoy that one too. Definitely agree with you on how it kind of sucks sometimes. Like, you're just wanting something to be, you know, maybe a little wholesome or maybe, you know, not that deep, and then they just throw in that stuff sometimes. Mm-hmm. Here's an age gap, yeah. You know, here's some essay or something, yeah. Like, come on. But I think if you look at the whole story sometimes, you'll still want to exclude all that, mm-hmm. But you could still get a really good story out of it. Mm-hmm. So one that I really liked for the reverse harem, the villainess, like My Life, it's like an Atomo game. and it's like My Life is the Villainess or whatever, and you can put that down here too. That one was a really good one because like in the one that you were mentioning, there was like two female characters that actually kind of fell for her as well, because she was trying to avoid the doomsday, where her character, which she turned into, dies. So she kind of befriends everyone, and because she kind of already knew what they were going through, she was able to not just befriend, but make them fall in love with her. And so that's kind of, and then she's like, even though like she knew that that was what she was going into, she's like so ditzy that they're actually falling for her. It's like, girl, you see how they be trying to push up on you and everything, and always trying to get you alone. Like, come on. But I guess she's just worried about surviving. But yeah, that one was a really good one.
I'll have to watch that one. It sounds fun.
It is.
But yeah. So problematic. I guess let's talk about the harem and reverse harem, since we did already talk about that being one of my favorites, or one of our favorites. Did you have any other favorites before we continue?
No, but like talking about the reverse harem, one that I did watch all the way through that's bad is Rent-A-Girlfriend, which is definitely the male character who has a bunch of female characters that are all, there's like a lot of seedy elements to it, like just even how he meets one of the first characters and then how he builds relationships with the other characters as well. I think one of the reasons why I first picked it up was just because it was an adult one, like he's in college, and far too often in animes it's just like the same thing over middle schooler, high schooler, and it's like, come on, I want to see, you know, past the forever after, you know, type situations where it's like, or just even like after high school, because it's like your life ends after high school for the Japanese culture in a way. Like all the good highlights are when you're, you know, young, so it's like good to see the opposite of that, but definitely hugely, oh my gosh, problematic, and definitely some things that you don't want to see happen in there. But again, it was just nice to experience like an adult anime that did, you know, just touch on people kind of having somewhat of a character development. And then also, I hate seeing times when people are put in situations, or they put themselves in situations that they know they have no business putting themselves in. I have a hard time watching it, but I was able to get through it because they do have a lot of that in there too.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people do like the harem, I guess, like you said, but yeah, for us it's just problematic because usually the reason that reverse harem is like in my favorites and harem isn't is because they do, while reverse harem does have some issues, or certain anime reverse harem do have some issues, the ones I do enjoy are kind of the sweet ones, the more wholesome ones. So it's not as like in your face as harem is, where it's definitely very like they just
heavy on the fan service.
Yes.
And that's what I don't like too.
Yeah, because I'm just like, oh, like I wouldn't mind harem if they were, if it was more, you know, cutesy too, but then I get it. That's not what they're going for in harem. And like I said, reverse harem has this too, like Oron Host Club, there was the character with the glasses, and him and the girl, after like I think they were on the beach or something, there was almost a little bit of like SA that was about like he was trying to make like an innuendo, and then after like he because he's not really gonna do it, I guess, but he puts her in that situation to prove a point. And she's like, wow, afterwards, thanks, you're such a good person, like, for, you know, do it. And it's like, and I know we both watched it, but you don't remember much of it. But that one bothered me. And then another one was Brothers Conflict, which was actually a video game, and then they made it into an anime. One, the protagonist, like I get it, in the video game, you know, it's a blank slate, it's whatever. But there was just this nothing about the main female character. She cooked and she liked video games. That was it. Like, that was all I knew of her. Otherwise, she was just this blank slate character. And it wasn't like she was super passionate about video games. She just liked it. And one of the other characters, who is her stepbrother, is like really like mean and also like a little bit of SA, like very like, forceful and everything. So it's like, definitely don't like those. So yes, harem and reverse harem. Well, reverse harem I do enjoy, the more sweet ones. They do have their own problems in that trope.
Yes. So to recap, we don't like age gaps.
No.
We don't
like the Magus Bride.
Yes.
While I do like that anime, it was a teenager with like this hundreds-year-old demon.
Yeah. And Inuyasha is older than Kagome, but they're like, he's a demon, and like mentally they seem like they're on the same level.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and the big thing with it versus his brother, he did not like grow up with her like being like super young. It seemed like they were the same age.
But
Sesshomaru
and Ren.
Like Sesshomaru, everybody like was messing with you, and it's like, dang, like really, you want to give her like, come on now. So, and that's one of her. So yeah, we don't like age gaps. I wish that they would stop forcing that on us. We also
don't like living together tropes when they're in high school,
Yeah.
or when not adults, like in Romantic Killer. Even though we do like that anime, we were like, oh my god, why are they like living together? And obviously it was this fairy that was like making them, but still it was just and I mean, I don't know if that's something that happens in Japan, but just me watching it, I was just like, oh my gosh, why?
So there's definitely a lot of things that can make us uncomfortable at times, but overall that doesn't mean that we won't watch some of these anime and that we don't enjoy anime, because we love it.
Yay, we do. All right, and I think that about covers it. So tune in next week on the next episode of Coffee Time, Best Friend Time. With our Dutch brothers.